safer meeting, which is basically right at noon Pacific, of course. So it's like, I guess, 3 o'clock on the East Coast, but still, we live in a complex world. Anyway, ladies and germs, welcome to the show. I'm going to hand it off to Dee for a second. Go for it.
What's going on, everybody? This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only. You have to be 21 and over to be here. If not, you have to leave. Back to you, Freemadoro.
That's the way. Cheers, Dee. And of course, I always forget or often forget that I have to go back to Firefox and pull up YouTube manually to find the show. But anyway, regardless, that's my problem. Welcome, though, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit, there's a channel with 42,000 people watching. It's apparently called Lo-Fi Girl. Don't know. Anyway, it's apparently on my homepage for Fumidoro. And YouTube, unfortunately, has moved everything all over the place. So I'm clicking all the wrong buttons here. My channel. Ladies and germs, you guys know the drill, or at least many of you do. Please join the show as soon as I pull up the linky here. Now, by the way, it goes to say, or it should be repeated, obviously. If you guys have ever joined the show before, if you've ever been on the show before, if you've ever been a panelist, basically, you've literally been on here, essentially, you already have the link basically to join us. You guys could basically join us even without me clicking on the link in the chat. You just have to go through the list of links basically, and most of the time, okay, this is frustrating. When Zoom updates, a lot of times you lose the names, but as long as Zoom hasn't updated in the meantime, so if you're a regular guest, if you come on here, I don't know, once a month or something, once every couple of weeks or whatever, chances are that's, more recent than the latest update. It'll say Fumidor's private meeting room or whatever, basically. So however it shows up for you. Anyway, so you guys can always click that. So while I mute myself again, while I open up the chat, Dee, why don't you introduce yourself? Say hello. Go for it, buddy.
Right on. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Fumador panel? I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm smoking on Pink Bubba. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at D_zombie_. And don't forget, so if you like the show, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share button and get notified when we go live.
That's
That's
it.
for now, we're on the Freemadoro channel and not the regular channel
Yeah,
because
man.
it's on the douchebag. But
Sure.
anyways, cheers, everybody.
Cheers, buddy. Good to see you. Thanks, folks, for jumping over to this channel, honestly. And if you guys can, feel free to tell other people because honestly, the other channel is down for at least another week, but realistically, I probably can't give it until what I guess I shouldn't be more detailed than this. But anyway, I should give it a little bit longer before I start actually making content. Otherwise, I'm just going to be right back to the same situation again. Basically, I don't know how, I don't know. Maybe it's not worth being secretive about it, honestly. Anyway, the channel has 2 strikes. At 3 strikes, the channel is permanently deleted from YouTube. All of the history, all of everything, and that's actually been my private channel. On the other side, you guys obviously see the public side. YouTube gives you a chance to like split it between your private personality and your public personality. Anyway, so my private channel for the last fucking 18 years or something, so since before YouTube was owned by Google, was that channel. Anyway, so it's got all my subscriptions and everything else. Like, it's kind of infuriating, honestly, that would be eliminated from YouTube just because of some absolute basket cases that continually report and hammer on my show. And it's so bizarre. I don't know if I've told you this before, but the reports almost always come in at about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, as if someone set an alarm clock at 9 o'clock in the morning, like, oh, I got to report Fumidor. Anyway, whatever. So, long story short, that channel may or may not be down permanently. I don't know, honestly. That has been the main channel for a long time. Even I've thought of it as the main channel. But unfortunately, it's just gotten hammered too hard. Honestly, it's just too easy for the person. Let's just put it that way. That's been doing it to slam my channel. Only a matter of time before they do it with this channel too. But we'll see. So long story shorter, I guess I don't know. Is I'm thinking about going to alternate networks, which is messed up, honestly, because every time you move to another channel or move to another network, you basically don't drag very many people with you. You don't bring all that many people with you, and it ends up essentially being a new audience more than it becomes a new place for the older audience. So I don't know, whatever. But the people reporting the channel, they know what they're doing. They're trying to destroy my presence on YouTube and my presence on the internet and everything else. It's working. It's really successful. It's amazing how easy it is for trolls to really screw people up, especially on YouTube. That's one of the reasons why I want to leave YouTube. Not really leave YouTube, because I don't know how you leave YouTube really, but that's one of the reasons why I want to start focusing on some other websites, because I have heard from many people that it's a lot more difficult to get reported on some of those other channels. So we'll see. I was meaning to, honestly, and I have really no excuse. I was meaning to do something yesterday with you guys, and then I was thinking, oh, maybe for high noon, but I don't know. I don't know. At least one show can be undisrupted, basically, because we've always done high noon on this channel. I'm thinking about maybe doing another session. I don't know when exactly. If you guys have suggestions in the chat, I want to basically get started on Twitch and potentially on other sites as well. But first things first, basically get started on Twitch. Have basically one of these shows, have a hangout session or whatever, discuss something of value or note or something, and start the presence on Twitch. So if you guys have any ideas when you'd like to do that, I'm all ears. I'm not even sure, honestly. There's some people in the chat already that we were talking about doing, bud tenders and stuff before I had to get stuck in Israel, basically, for a little while. I'm not even sure that that's going to work. Like on this channel, it's only a matter of time before this channel gets taken down. I have to be honest. Like the same person is probably going to take down this channel as well. This channel has definitely gotten reported a bunch of fucking times. So I don't know. It's going to be like whack-a-mole if I start up new channels all the time and then go private before I get banned or something. I'm not really sure. Um, Seems like it's a fucking waste, honestly, to be perfectly frank with you. It's a real bummer, honestly. It's a real fucking bummer. It's real unfair, honestly, that a lot of other channels get to do whatever the fuck they want in many cases. There's a lot of really fucked up shit on YouTube that doesn't get taken down, but all the weed stuff, the problem is not so much, people always accuse it of being the algorithm or anything else. No, it's actually the shitty people in the weed community. Like there's so many shitty people in the weed community that are willing to take down people they don't like, or take down people that they just think are funny or whatever. There's so much bad blood basically in the weed community that it leads to almost complete lack of cooperation between the channels, and it leads to incredible bottlenecking of a lot of other channels. And it's honestly, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but it's led to an incredible lack of quality of any kind of weed content. Really, there used to be a lot more big channels. I think all of them pretty much got taken down. One way or another, either they got taken down or demonetized or whatever else, and it became not worth it for them, and they ended up going to other platforms or just doing other things that made more sense with their time. Anyway, I'm babbling a little bit, but anyway, it's very frustrating. Very frustrating. I don't know what the solution is, because you'd think there would be a solution, but I haven't found one. And I've been thinking about this for a couple, 3 years now, because honestly, this channel has been getting trolled by weirdly different groups of people for a couple, 3 years now. I don't know what makes a big old fucking target on my head, but I definitely do have one. And I've been trying to find a solution. I would like to continue making videos, and I honestly enjoy having these discussions on YouTube. I'm always stunned by how often people and how sincerely people thank me for doing these shows. It's not like I'm begging for thanks right now. I'm genuinely surprised. Like last night, I was genuinely kind of taken aback because I was in sort of a sour mood about the show and everything else. And I was like, well, fuck. I mean, like these guys genuinely appreciate the chance to sit here and kibitz and talk and, talk shit and basically, and just shoot the breeze while smoking weed. Yeah. So
I
it's
do.
frustrating. Yeah, I appreciate that, D. It's frustrating to see that deep appreciation is there, because it seems like it is an honest appreciation. And yet there are these incessant, unending, unyielding fucking attacks that make the channel basically impossible. Like it's difficult to describe how challenging it is to run the channels with all the different bullshit that goes on,
Yeah.
basically, and how demotivating it is too. Even if, oh my god, I don't even know. Even if I won the lottery and didn't have to think about money ever again, it's just also demotivating, basically, when you have just fucking harping from the side, essentially, just some rabid bat eating your guts, basically, the whole time you're doing the channel. Very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. That's a weird metaphor, I realize, but anyway. Anyway, cheers, folks. Didn't mean to make it a big old freaking rant here at the beginning of the show, but I guess sometimes the thoughts come out. Anyway, welcome, folks. D, if you could pull up the thingamajigger, the bobber, the whatever the shits, the disclaimer, basically. Even though, again, we don't really know if that works anymore. Hi there, everybody. There's a bird's nest behind me, and that bird is telling you that, first of all, before anything else on the show is for adults only, 21 and over. Wherever you are, if the rules are a little bit different, if you have to be 23 or 24 or something else, please follow your local rules. Where I am, it's 21 and over to be an adult, so please do follow those rules. The show is not for children, it is for adults only. Please also remember that the show is completely and totally drug-free. We do not actually purvey any kind of drugs of any kind. You cannot get drugs from this show of any kind. You cannot buy them, you cannot borrow them, you cannot steal them, you cannot get them bequeathed to you, you cannot get drugs from this show. So please do not bother reporting this show for purveying drugs or anything else. You cannot in any way get drugs from the show. There's no secret menu, there's no super secret menu, there's no other way to get any kind of illegal product from my show. Also, please remember, we're doing this a little bit impromptu, so please bear with us, ladies and gentlemen, for the bird squawks and everything else. Extremely dangerous challenges are not shown on the show. Challenges that pose an imminent risk of physical injury are never shown. Dangerous or threatening pranks are also never shown on the show. Pranks that lead victims to fear imminent, serious physical danger or that create serious emotional distress in minors. Instructions to kill or harm are never shown on the show, showing viewers how to perform activities meant to kill or maim others. For example, giving instructions to build a bomb meant to injure or kill others. Hard drug use or its creation is never shown on the show. Content that depicts abuse of or giving instructions on how to create hard drugs, such as cocaine or opioids. Hard drugs are defined as drugs that can mostly lead to physical addiction. I add the proviso that sometimes you'll hear people on the show interact or have tell stories about how they have interacted in one way or the other with some drugs, cocaine, opioids, other drugs in their past. Please always assume that those are negative portrayals, those are cautionary tales, and you should never under any circumstances emulate those stories. It's the position of Fumidoro and Fumidoro the Flavors, everyone on Fumidoro and all of the guests, that drugs are bad and you should not under any circumstances emulate those stories. And of course, my phone locked while I was talking. Instructional theft or cheating is never shown, ladies and gentlemen. Showing viewers how to steal tangible goods or promoting dishonest behavior would never be discussed on the show. Hacking is never shown. Demonstrating how to use computers or information technology with the intent to steal credentials, compromise personal data, or cause serious harm to others, such as, but not limited to, hacking into social media accounts. And finally, bypassing payment for digital content or services, showing viewers how to use apps, websites, or other information technology to gain unauthorized access to audio content, audiovisual content, full video games, software, or streaming services that normally require payment. We would never discuss any of those things. Finally, once again, ladies and gentlemen, the show is, of course, for adults only, and of course, we do not under any circumstances offer drugs to you. Even though other channels might have secret menus, we do not. Under no circumstances can you find anything illegal in the show. The cannabis content that we do discuss is legal under the 2018 Farm Bill, and the seeds that we purvey also are legal. All the breeders that come through the show, it's legal for us to purvey seeds because the seeds have no THC in them, so they are legal under the 2018 Farm Bill. Thanks, folks, for bearing with the introduction of the prologue here. We've recorded it maybe for the future.
Wait, good this.
Indeed. Thank you, folks, for putting up with that. It is frustrating that we have to do that disclaimer, and apparently it's not even enough. I'm going to have to basically do like a video disclaimer that basically says we don't sell any fucking illegal shit of any kind. Da, 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 da. Oh, frustrating. Whatever, we'll have to do it.
At least you don't have to say it over and over and over.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Was it Smash's idea or yours basically to film something? Yeah, and finally we pulled out his card. All right, we gotta just record this because I'm tired of freaking reading it the whole time. Put me in such a sour mood, I have to be honest. Cheers, Lone Star Larf, good to see you. Operation Annihilation's in the house, Benny Ben, Southern Vermont Vintage is in the house. Welcome, Southern Vermont. Are you the same as
Yes.
our name is VT? Oh, right on. Cheers, VT, good to see you. I'm also unused to seeing him with a name that's not upside down and backwards, whatever else. Cheers, Pete Runner. Who else in here? Robert Bendula is already hanging. Welcome.
Cap.
Who else in here? Bud Kilowatt. Welcome, Bud Kilowatt. Crime More Grows. I think I missed saying hello. I think you might have been first in the chat today. Poor Pizza Dave, welcome. In fact, I think he was first in the chat. Welcome, of course, Christophe. Bonjour. Bonsoir, mon ami. Who else in here? Have I already said to Operation Annihilation? I think so. Miss Chronic, I missed you. Welcome, Miss Chronic. Who else in here? Surely I missed somebody because I always miss somebody. T Barrington, I missed you. Welcome, T. Good to see you. You guys know the rules. Hop on here. Don't be a dick. Don't show your dick. Don't bullshit, basically. Those are essentially 3 rules, pretty much. I feel like they're all 3 sides of the same coin. Yes, I realize that's a weird coin, but don't be a dick. Don't show your dick. Don't bullshit. That's it. That's all you got to do. Hop on here. Come show your garden. Come ask a question. Come tell the answer of a question. We've never played Jeopardy before. What else? I don't know. Give us ideas for growth patterns or whatever else. Come tell us what we're doing wrong. That's something that I'm always frustrated with, that there are these incessant reports and backstabbing trolls and everything, but nobody that has the fucking cojones to come on and just honestly say, like, Fumor, what you're doing is inappropriate because of the following reasons, and just have the balls to stand there and actually say it. If there's a reason, if there's something that you dislike about what I'm doing, perhaps I'll listen to you. Holy shit. If you think that my breeding is stupid, if you think that my face is stupid, whatever, well, there's not too much I can do about my face, but if you think that there's something wrong with my show, whatever else, have the fucking sack to come up here and tell us what the fuck you think is wrong with it, instead of just backbiting like a goddamn little fucking rat. It's really something else. I honestly curse you to having your own sack eaten by rats. if you don't have the balls to come up here and freaking tell us what's wrong instead of reporting my fucking channels like a goddamn rabid little fucking rat. Shit on a brick. Holy shit.
I'll take the penis mightier for 100, please.
The penis is mightier.
The penis mightier.
The penis mightier.
You've never seen that with Sean Connery on SNL?
Mm.
Really? You should definitely check that out, buddy.
I've seen Sean Connery on SNL, but I don't remember the penis mightier.
The Jeopardy, when they do Jeopardy, they do a
Oh, fuck
Jeopardy.
you. Trebek.
Yeah.
Now I remember. I need to watch that again. Well, ladies and germs, you need to hop on here so I can take a dab. What are we going to talk about? Maybe if I give them a conversation subject. I don't know. Can't think of one right now.
You know who you guys are. Come on up and join us.
And new faces welcome too, honestly. If you guys think that there's only a specific cast of characters, that's not true. This show has always been an open forum. It's very frustrating how there's been so much bad blood and everything else because honestly, I let basically everybody on the show. As long as you don't show your fucking wiener off, pretty much, you get to come on the show. Even still, there's been all kinds of weird bad blood. Honestly, forget it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honestly tired of it. I've said it a million different times, in a million different ways. We're not here for the fucking weird bad blood. We're not here for the weird vibes and everything else. I don't even know what's the word for it. I don't even know the word for it. I don't have a vendetta against a different breeder. I realize I dropped my mug again yesterday and then now it doesn't quite stand straight. I gotta hammer it again. All it takes is, see, it's been like 2 whacks. The first whack was okay, but the second whack, and now it's like, I gotta thwack it with a hammer today. Anyway, we thwack mugs with hammers, not each other. There's good. You know what?
Oh, need to turn the volume down. Shit. All right. Sorry. Hi.
What's going on? Welcome.
Well, I'm late. I'm running behind, but I figured I'd come say hi for a few minutes and do a dab. Like when you said you were going to do a dab, I thought, yeah, one dab for the road. That's my plan, to bring some energy to the situation. Yeah. That situation yeah, like but I get it. Would you say obsessed? Yeah. Some people have this malady or whatever, like they get super obsessed because yeah, it's not, there's no point in it, there's no logical point in it. Yeah, but maybe one day it'll go away, like that's what you think. But it seems obsessive here.
There's been a few times I thought it went away, but it came right back. I don't know what set them off.
And when you say, what do we like? Tell us what we're doing wrong or what you do. Yeah, like wait a minute, like the what? And even the bottom line is, if you don't like whatever content, there's 10,000 other contents, or yeah. But whatever.
Yeah, it's something. I don't force them to watch my channel. Like YouTube basically bottlenecks this channels to such a degree that I know that even YouTube is not forcing them to watch my channel. You know, I don't come up in the recommended views or anything else. So it's like literally no one is forcing you to watch this channel. If you don't want to watch this channel anymore, just don't. Just unsubscribe. Don't fucking come to it anymore. Just don't watch it. Just watch something else. Watch bumblebees or some shit. I don't even know. Kite flying, whatever, something. Fishing, anything. Fucking Mongolian singing.
Over the years, YouTube hasn't figured out a way to like know the difference between legit people complaining and people using the system this like this, right? Where it's the same person.
I don't think YouTube really cares. I think
Yeah, that's the
it's not a
problem.
money thing for them, so they just don't really give a shit. So.
You know, the business model of these software things that make them so profitable is, yeah, they pretty much don't have to hire people. But I mean, an algorithm could easily flag something like that, like repeated what I don't know. I mean, if they wanted to, they could do something about it, or at least make it, the same thing. Like, yeah, you can't just we obsessively report someone from the same. I mean, I guess, if you did that, then people would just make up sock accounts to get around it.
Yeah.
But at this point, they know your IP address, so yeah. And I'm sure, I mean, it's happening to you, but there's probably people on YouTube and social medias way outside of cannabis, just people that have the same kind of thing. Like somebody decides they're going to obsess on it.
Mhm.
I I actually had my private Facebook page hacked a while ago. I had to change the password.
Now, I've heard of this, but so someone hacks your Facebook for then they can put up other content that they want, or like what's
Yes, and it's so annoying because what they put up is those fucking. I don't know if you've seen that commercial with the Oprah gummy bears. They're supposed to lose weight and shit all the time, and then it tags like a whole bunch of all my people on my friends list. And I've
oh,
actually lost people because of it. Yes, Annihilation. Hello, Cake. Good.
yeah.
Some
I mean,
bored and boring ass people in the
when I
world.
had Instagram or did anything else, I had a Facebook. Didn't ever really look at it, but then like so many years ago when the only thing, yeah, I don't like Facebook. I
Yeah,
don't
I don't.
even look at it anymore. But like, there's this weird thing that I do like Instagram, eh, eh, but ultimately Instagram and Facebook are all one thing. Um, yeah, because I don't like Facebook, but Instagram is Facebook, really.
Yeah, I only used to be only
It's
on
like
Facebook.
I post stories, and I have it that it's doesn't put them on Facebook, right? Because there's a thing where you can like, it'll also post it on your Facebook, right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
the
I do
last
that sometimes, like this show.
like, I don't go and change it. I don't change that setting, but I've had to go and re-put that setting on twice where I don't know why, how, or how it did that, but next thing you know, it was
Yeah,
putting them on Facebook where I didn't want that. And then I switched it back. And then so many months later, it happened again. I was like, yeah, it's almost like they did that because I didn't go. You have to like go through the settings to find that. No, that wasn't like a pocket dial situation that happened. No, like somehow that setting got taken off twice.
Every time my phone uh, does like an install and an update, that there's certain notifications that I have to go back in every time and turn back off.
Yeah, maybe when they send an update and shit like that. Yeah, I mean that's a
I
minor,
mean,
but whatever.
I my Samsung phone went off like 8 times in 2 months.
But
They were
like,
having some
like
major upgrades.
even why I had Facebook was mainly due to Grateful Dead content and related music stuff so many years ago. And yeah, it's not like, there's a post, I better look at it at Facebook because whatever like fans or whoever post on Facebook, they simultaneously post it on Instagram too, the same content. So it, it's not like you're missing anything. And at the beginning, Facebook was like the first service that people could go live, like I remember there was these runs of stream concerts, and the only way you could watch it was on Facebook, like so many years ago.
Yeah.
And like I get the codes, so I get the streams free, the paid ones. But I know of communities online that are basically bootlegging and whatever. Oh, all those happen on Facebook. Like where I guess you can get away with it there. Like re-airing content that is licensed by someone else. Other than during the tour, that address and page changes mainly because they shut it down and they just create a new one. And a lot of times, whether they're actually people in Asia or not, they're like Asian accounts.
There are quite a few deadheads over here. I met quite a few of them when I went to that festival with you, Skull and Roses,
Yeah, well,
that
there's
are
always
here in Thailand.
think like you could pull up their content, and they're just people that like that's the same person that posts Saturday Night Live episodes. Uh, like anything that they're well, like mainly in China from years I did business there. The one thing that's very clear there, they don't have the same uh
Laws.
well, what do you call it? Look, yeah, like knocking something off, counterfeiting stuff. Like that's not like here we think of that as that's not cool. Oh no,
That's
that's
just
part, like
make
they
money.
don't even think it's cool. That's just part of the way they are. And so yeah, they're the ones on YouTube that post a lot of content that are owned by even TV shows. Oh yeah, you really can't do that. Like that's not uh yeah, like some I watched this one that's Bill I like that Bill Maher show, and I don't know, it's Asian uh alphabet of the name, Sin something. But when the show ends, they have this like 10 or 15 minutes if you don't turn it off where it's like this really low production of like a classroom for high schoolers, it seems like, or, but it's in Chinese. I don't even know. Like, I always think, oh, this is some kind of propaganda. Why do they add this part at the end? Um, or maybe that's how they get away with, I don't know. But yeah, but I know that that show's licensed and that there's a disclaimer. You're not allowed to do that. You, even Formula One races and stuff, people do the same thing. Certain entities are more go after you. A lot of them they don't because it's like a game of whack-a-mole. But what can you do about
Yeah.
it? And the other side is your content being out there keeps you relevant regardless how it gets there. But a lot of the issues when it came to the writer strike and the actor strike is about trying to is about that stuff, that the internet and the streaming and getting paid for it. And uh yeah, I don't think there's any easy answers to that. Like even over the years, what it used to be the music was on the what was that site they shut down?
Napster.
BitTorrent stuff, right? And then they made attempts to, but they all the music's still out there. It's just you have to look harder. It's like you can't stop it. There's no policing the internet. It doesn't seem like they'd like to.
Yeah. Thailand actually did away with a lot of their laws with the internet. because they had a team that would actually be on, because Facebook was really huge here. They would have a team, I think it was like 20 some people, and they would just be on people posting in Thailand Facebook pages and looking at the pictures. And if you have showed something inappropriate, they took it down. If you made a comment against the king or the government, you got whacked. They
But I mean,
took your
even
account.
like, okay, so Thailand has its own controlled internet, right? Like most countries, right?
Well, we have
Like I
fiber
know
optic.
like in the UAE and Dubai and Abu Dhabi, yeah,
We're all fiber optic
they have
here even.
just like whatever. It's a government run, like any
No.
of the content media, like even weird things. Like, oh, they have a lot of stuff that's there, but like because he's so outspoken over all these years, uh, uh, Neil Young. Like if you Google Neil Young in Abu Dhabi, he doesn't exist on their system. But everybody in that country has, what do you call it? VPNs, which
Yeah.
you can get in trouble if they catch you, but it's hard to get caught. And it's just like but yeah, otherwise you're just getting the,
China's that way.
yeah, there are a lot
There's
of
a lot
countries
of
that are that
content.
way. Like that their internet's not as open as like, well, we think ours is so open, but is it really? Right? Like, you know what I'm like every country, yeah, that's the way they can control ideas. The easiest way is in history
Yep.
No, there's no
and
comparison between our internet and Chinese internet. Our internet,
well, right. No, but like I'm not saying we're like that, but in some ways you also got to question like
go to
how
any
open
website you
we
want
are.
to from the US. No, from the US, you're allowed to go to see anything you want to, but there's no censorship in that regard.
Yeah.
There's corporate censorship, that's for sure, but there's no actual government censorship. Weirdly enough, because we have a lot of overbearing. There's a over. Our government does have an overbearing nature. Let's just put it that way. But
Right.
we're
And
allowed
you
to go
don't
to
have
the
to
website.
use Google. And if you had the wherewithal, you could, you know, use addresses but Google itself is basically feeding you a certain thing, right? Like the way
Algorithm.
searches work, it's like, so you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like, oh, here's all just the random things that came up under that search. No, they're like they got their sponsored stuff, they got their people that are prioritized over other things, right? And that's a way to manipulate things. No, but through my friend in the UAE for all these years, 5 years, he sometimes there's been situations where explains to me, oh, well, this is what they're saying on the like official uh,
News.
UAE thing, but because sometimes she'll ask me about something going on in the world because oh, they're not. That's not what they're saying there. Like they're real controlling when it comes to like oil is great and even conflicts around the world. They choose to only to let the people know certain things or certain narratives.
That's the kind of way to tie news is. It's basically what they kind of want you to hear. And that's it. Because we really don't hear up here in Chiang Rai, no one talks about the war in Ukraine. No one. They don't even
Well,
hear about it.
when wait, I forget which country uh there's they're basically the one backed by Iran, Yemen or wait, no, some other country actually shoots missiles into Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and sometimes like there's damages or hits buildings because they have an Iron Dome over there too, right? That works really good, right? But there's been times that things have happened there like that like don't make our mainstream news at all, right? It's not even a story. Where if like the same thing, where if a missile got shot over Israel, would live story, even whatever it is. That shit's going on over there in Dubai periodically from the I don't know the yeah, I guess it's the Iranian backed whatever country that's yeah,
Yemen, the Houthis.
yeah, yeah. And the point I was trying to make is yeah, there's been times when like you'd think, oh, that should be news. Fuck, that's no, it doesn't make the news
Yeah,
that a
but
missile hit the building right there in downtown Abu Dhabi and no, or the
like
rocket. I don't even think they're into missiles. There's some rockets, basically, or I don't know. But yeah, they're under attack and they got an Iron Dome.
They have full-on ballistic missiles.
so I mean,
Learning about that area, and when you really look where it's placed and how close what it is, and that for the most part they don't have like too much domestic terrorist events inside their country. A
Right.
lot of that because they have like a really gnarly police state and
Who are you talking about? The UAE?
yeah.
Yeah.
if you go to any like
The UAE
if
is
you watch, there's some news channels that are independent that actually share everything that's going on. But if it's a big news channel that's owned by these multimedia companies, they pick what they want. It's a pick and choose world. They want to give you stuff that you see that will keep you engaged. And like we don't even hear about the war in Ukraine anymore on the news. They barely talk about it. Even Israel now, it's already kind of faded away, and other shit has come up in the U.S. news. And it's always like that. It seems like the news
I mean,
gets to
that's
pick
all
whatever the
that
fuck they
close,
want.
but it seems like oh no, we're back to dumb shit and whatever he's creating on a daily day. Like in the last so many years, that's their main
yeah.
thing. Oh,
Half
sometimes
of
we have
talk about
stories that take us away from that story, but that's like a story that's been going on now for like fucking whatever years, a lot, 8 years, 7, 8 years of this reality show of that dumbass.
Yeah, it's really frustrating to realize that actually you're spot on. Basically, there's some people that really like Mango Mussolini, and there's some people who really don't like Mango Mussolini. But in both cases, he basically draws views and eyeballs because he's so outrageous. So the people that love him, they spend all their time basically buying his merch and spending all their time listening to speeches and everything else. So that makes sense. But all the people that basically are outraged that oh my God, that's our president, that was our president, that could be our president again, blah blah blah. They click on the news stories, and it was a very frustrating thing for me to realize that a lot of the media organizations, you're 100% right, they'll run 15 fucking Mango Mussolini stories before they run one complex Israel story, because nobody clicks on the Israel story because it's like homework, whereas the Mango Mussolini, it's basically a short-term dopamine, like oh my God, amazing, or oh my God, how horrible. Either way you look at it. And so basically they can kill two birds with one stone. They can get basically both sides of the argument just by showing his fucking face. You know what I mean? So
Oh, it's yeah. I mean, even it got so crazy that I stopped watching the news. But through having a phone, mainly my weakness is in my car. I have Sirius satellite, so there's CNN and MSN. There's all this music, but I'm like weird. Like even I'm getting ready to drive 15 minutes over to the other spot. Yeah, I'll listen, and then just in that little 10 or 15 minutes, pretty much, the synops of whatever that mainstream media is on that day, you don't have to you don't have to listen past 15 minutes because they just regurgitate the same one or two stories. And most days it's over some drama with Trump.
You know,
Whether
a
it was
lot,
something he did 5 years ago, something that somebody said, somebody wrote a book, now this, and then he said the same like craziness that seems like, wait, isn't there like real issues? What about the fucking like, oh no, we're gonna talk about like the craziest shit ever.
It's crazy to see, like, especially countries like Russia and China, like we have such a broad internet and access to internet that they lock down what people actually see. Like in Russia, they don't think, like, the people that support Russia don't think anything's really going on in Ukraine, or they think some crazy stuff because they've been
Example of
feeding
like
that.
this media thing at its most extreme, where like millions of people living in the modern world in Russia like don't know reality at all, right? They think the Nazis are like still active, and they don't. Yeah, they've
We
controlled the
are.
to the point that they don't even realize the system that has been around them, or probably some do, but the way their media is, yeah, that's a perfect example of and China, same and at a bigger scale. Um, yeah, I mean that's the one thing that makes our country different. But then again, it also makes us all decisive and like because they the best clickbait is um yeah, like picking sides. Like it's like it's all about that. Like
That doesn't make
dividing people.
Stills.
decisive. That's clickbait. That doesn't make us decisive as a society. Honestly, I think that that's kind of the opposite. I think, frankly, their bullshitism basically holds them back. I mean, when you look at the most advanced country in the world, it's unambiguously the U.S. We have the most sophisticated, and I hate to say it, but most sophisticated weapon systems because that's what we focus a lot of our attention on. But still, the most effective,
Billions.
most advanced rocketry, most advanced shipbuilding, you name it. I mean, I hate to say it, a lot of the most advanced shit is frankly military stuff, but I guess the idea is that that filters down. I mean, that's certainly one thing you can criticize about society is how militaristic it is, but we're definitely not indecisive. I wouldn't think. I don't think Russia's predilection for propaganda is a help to them. I think it really sets them back, honestly.
Should I?
I was
Yeah,
watching. Go
but
ahead, Mark.
yeah, that back. Yeah, you mentioned military. Like I think at some point in this, our military is so big and so massive and so above and beyond the rest of the world military that it's almost ineffective. It's like a uh, uh, situation like that where something became so
And that,
much.
well, the U.S. military is so big that honestly, by not doing shit, it can basically wave its dick around. Like basically, we have what, one or even two U.S. aircraft carrier strike groups in the Mediterranean, basically just sitting there saying nothing. They don't say
With a
anything.
whole fucking, like 3,000 people on it. Those things are so big.
Carrier is just the beginning. There's probably 10 or 15 ships with it, from destroyers to potentially submarines. Very good.
These
It's
carrier,
constant air patrol, constant supply drops, everything, you name it. No, it's not even a city, it's a whole fucking metropolis, basically.
My
yeah,
nephew,
yeah.
he
They're sitting
joined the
there and saying,
Navy.
let me finish my thought, but let me finish my thought. They're sitting there and saying, Hezbollah, if you'd like to try anything, we're here. We're here, we're ready to flatten you until the Stone Age. And so they don't have to say anything. They're so unambiguously, overbearingly, overpowerful that basically nobody, not even the freaking hopeful martyrs, like they hope for death, the terrorists, but they're not even stupid enough to try it because they will just get smitten like the freaking from the fist of an angry god, basically, if they try anything with Israel. That's the only thing that's keeping Israel from being a 2 or 3 front war right now. I don't know if people realize that. Literally, that's the
One of
upside.
my nephews
The upside